can't tend to believe that anybody feels the way we do about our girls and all those courts we're traveling to. And all the roads we drive, all the states we see, we've been volleyball'd all so desperately. I said maybe we're gonna be the ones to cheer them on. We're lost in this volleyball.
Why, hello there, and welcome to Volleyball'd. This is Chapter 7, and we're the Medinas.
Did anyone else think 6, 7 when they were going between episode 6 and episode 7 because they have middle schoolers in their house? Just me?
You just went down a road.
6, 7.
If there's anyone in their car or anywhere that's around middle school, and yeah, predominantly middle school, then right now they're going crazy, and you're the one who caused it.
You're welcome.
It's your fault. Like somebody in car line is going and losing their minds. By the way, I'm Carlos, and that's Allison. And yeah, this is Chapter 7, the 6-7 episode.
6, 7.
I feel silly even partaking in this. Now, it is harmless. You know, it's not like, as parents at times, we're having to look into some of these trends and we're wondering, okay, is this the one that's going to get them trouble at school? All right, this won't. At least I don't believe so. This just is annoying.
You know what I learned yesterday? You still refer to a good-looking member of the opposite sex as fine.
Oh, that's still in effect?
Yeah. Both our kids said it within 10 minutes of each other separately. And I was like, wow, we said that in the 90s. We're still relevant.
It hasn't gone away.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take that.
The whole bad, baddie thing I don't get, though. Like, calling someone bad usually just should mean that they're, like, not nice. Not
right.
that they're
But if you're a baddie,
good-looking.
That's different.
But is it? I don't know.
I have to get out my tween and teen, decoder ring and try to figure out what they're saying half the time. And then there's that moment when I hear it and I kind of give them a look of, are you going to get in trouble for that? Or do you really know what you're saying when you're saying that? So it's the challenge. It's what happens. I always talk about there's these challenges that we all have, whether it's travel or it's girls or parenting. Here's another element that I just chalk it up to. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just figuring it out as I go.
We said a lot of things when we were kids that are not appropriate today, most likely, and we broke a lot of rules too. Let's just keep that in mind, buddy.
All I got were N's and U's in conduct. I was that kid where the grades are really good, but I think if it was today, they would put me on medication. They would say, "Why won't he shut up? Why won't he stop talking? He's doing well, but he won't stop talking." And so, yeah, imagine that. I end up being a broadcaster with nothing but needs improvement and unsatisfactory all the way until maybe like 6th or 7th grade.
Hey, speaking of rules, why don't you tell us about our guest today?
So we made a move, and credit to Allison. Allison has now, I think she's enjoying the booking aspect of this. Because we reach out to a lot of people and say, hey, we've got a space, we're doing this podcast, and it's been surprising how many have said, yeah, like I'll join, I'll talk. So this ends
everyone has said yes.
So far, everyone has been like, that's a really cool idea. Yeah, I'd love to come and give my thoughts on their particular end of the volleyball world. Because we all have a different piece of this thing. This ends up being Mark Prater. Now, Mark Prater, like I said, Allison shot high. She was like, all right, what if I went and got the indoor officials chair for SRVA? Like the Southern region, this is the guy. This is the one that's the head of officiating. And sure enough, he reached back out to you. Like, how long did it take? Like a week or two to get him?
Yeah, and it was just because he wasn't around. He was traveling.
So he took some time out to join us. We talked about his background, but then also those key rule changes. And I will tell you, after getting a chance to talk, really friendly, really fun. I apologize for almost for almost every time that I have yelled at an official over what I perceived it was a bad call. They were bad calls, and I maybe have yelled in the past a little bit too much.
A little bit?
I haven't ever said anything horrible outside of I'm trying to remember if it was like Winter Classic or when I started yelling at, I think they were 80. Okay. Like there was some glasses and I know they couldn't see the back line and they were depending on some kids that weren't really paying that much of attention either. And so we were having problems in that match. I think we ultimately won it, but I might've yelled a little bit. And you still remember the 5-second rule.
There have definitely been times where our team coach has looked over at you and other members of the dad squad given the
stay strong, dads.
The thumb across the neck, cut it out now look of death. That's happened for sure. Yeah, the 5-second rule that I've spoken on this before. That was when we got a penalty for a 12-year-old taking 5 seconds to serve when she was looking the other way when he motioned for the serve. It's neither here nor there.
The coach was talking to her. She's 12 years old. She has the ball in her hand, and it wasn't like the ref was in a big hurry, and suddenly the ref was, and he motions in. She's still talking to the coach, and he hits her with I've never seen, except for one time, the 5-second rule be called, and that was the one time.
Yeah, and also it's 23-23 in a bid game to win a bid to nationals.
A semifinal match with a bid on the line, and they call the 5-second rule. So with that said, I'm sure you have your own stories of pain and anguish. Hopefully hearing from Mark Prater, the indoor officials chair with SRVA, can kind of take that anger down a notch. All right, joining us now on Volleyball'd, especially for all of you parents out there, the rule changes that have come to the indoor sport. We were like, okay, who can we grab to talk about this? And we went and found you, Mark Prater. Now, you're going to find his information with SRVA as the indoor officials chair. This is the big wig. This is the man. Mark, thank you for joining us here on Volleyball'd.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for the opportunity.
I'd just like to start off by saying a sincere apology from all of the parents that we have sat by over the years that have yelled at all of your poor referees. I promise we're getting better by doing things like this, by trying to understand the game better and understand the logic behind it. Hopefully not too rowdy in those convention centers for you.
Yeah, well, it's part of the job that we don't like, but anytime we can educate, that's a plus. That's a win-win for everybody.
Well, let me ask you this before we get into some of these rule changes. Is it okay as a parent? I was thinking about this year, maybe carrying around my own red card and yellow card to use on the other parents on the team if they get a little too crazy.
I'm okay with that.
The rowdy button. The rowdy button, the silence.
Yeah. I mean, it gets to the point, a lot of regions with volleyball now are having a zero tolerance policy. And we're instructed as head officials and referees, they call head referees over. If we deem it offensive and stuff, we can escort them out. So, and we don't want that. We want people to have a good time, enjoy the sport of volleyball, encourage their daughter, son, whoever's playing. We want an atmosphere of competitive, but respectful for everyone.
I totally agree. And we totally respect everything that you all do. I would love to hear just some background from you, Mark. How did you get involved with the sport of volleyball and the role that you now play in it for the Southern region?
Oh, my goodness. Well, I started with volleyball back in middle school and high school. I graduated here in Georgia, down in Peachtree City, McIntosh High School. And I was there kind of like manager of the volleyball team. And then I started playing adult volleyball in 1987 on a men's team. Now I'm starting to give my age, but that's okay. So I played and coached. I had my own club up until about 2001. My knees started hurting and I couldn't play as much. So I delved into the refereeing part of it and just started getting my certifications. In 2007, I got my national USA. And in also 2007, I got my PAVO national, which is the college side. So I'm a dual national referee. And then in 2011, I got my national score. So I kind of have all of the hats at the highest level of certification. And now I got into the officials chair. The previous officials chair of the Southern region is now our commissioner, and he appointed me as the officials chair. So we've been doing this, I think, since 2018. So about 7 years.
Mark Prater is our guest. Just as he let you know, he is the indoor officials chair with SRVA handling here in the Southern region. Let me ask you that, because you talked about having all those certifications. Where has volleyball taken you in terms of not just playing the game, but obviously getting a chance to ref the game on a multitude of levels?
Yes, it takes me all over the country. I'm too old to do international, but I travel everywhere from California all the way up to Maine, Connecticut, Pittsburgh, all the way down to Florida, Texas. I mean, I go all over. I'm part of the Big 12, SEC, ACC, and three or four more of the D1 conferences. So I get to travel quite a bit. So this weekend I'll be traveling for the SEC. So I enjoyed it. It's given me great opportunities to meet new people. Basically, we call it our officiating family. So I'm at NC State next weekend. I don't have to get a hotel room. I'm staying with some other fellow referees, and it's just a good camaraderie of family. And it's taken me to places I didn't probably would never go just on myself. So it's opened up great travel opportunities, and the level of play has gotten exceptionally well over the years as well. So it's a great opportunity.
Well, let me ask you about that because as much of this sport has changed over the last, probably the last 15, 20 years, the participation level from young women and young men as well, we're seeing programs growing all around the country. The style of play that I have heard, my wife jokes around about how what she was doing in high school, even though she was all state, she's like, these girls are even better than me at like 13, 14, 15 years old. How much have you seen the game grow from your perspective?
Oh my gosh. The players these days are just faster, stronger, bigger, and the game is a lot quicker than probably 5, 10 years ago. The pace of play and I think the knowledge of coaches and players as well, knowledge of the game is something that has grown, and players now are with rotations, stacks, how they stack to get their players in better hitting positions. And the libero position has just transformed the sport of volleyball to me. I mean, you got D1 scholarships now being given to liberos because defense has now turned into offense. So the whole game has changed within the last 10 to 15 years, and just the players have. And then you got medical, you got nutrition. I mean, we got nutrition people at all colleges now, trainers and the weightlifting program. So I think it has materialized, and like we know, probably the fastest growing sport in the nation. And the men's has grown as well. So just all around, everything, every aspect within the volleyball playing community has increased and gotten better.
And we're here for all of it. Mark, before I get into individual rule changes for this year, what does it entail for a proposal for a change to a rule to occur? And I'm assuming there's some kind of a voting process that has to happen for USA Volleyball to move forward with a rule change. What does that look like? Can you walk us through that?
Yes, that's so there is a rules committee, and it's chaired. You got some college representation, some international representation, high school representation. So a lot of times they will put forth a rule change, and then this committee, because it's different for college and like USA Volleyball. Like college, any rule changes to there, they got a rules committee as well, but they look at budget. Is it going to cost teams money? D2, D3 are kind of different from D1, right? You got your major conferences, so money might not be as prevalent like for SEC compared to a D3 Emory University. So they got to look at all of those aspects as well, but they review all of the rules and then it's voted upon. They got voting members. If it passes, then it becomes a rule. And for USA Volleyball, we have every 2 years is a rule change year. So like this year is a rule change year. So 25-26 will not be a rule change year. So 2025, we have new rules that are in place. 2027 will be the next term if we have new rules that will be put forth and voted on and changed. So that's kind of where that process is.
Let me give you some background into my husband and I's relationship here in terms of watching sports. So if we are watching a football game or a basketball game on TV, my husband knows every hand signal from the referee. He knows every foul before it's happened. He's constantly screaming holding before you even see a flag on the field.
I don't watch the football, Mark. I watch the players.
Yes. So this is his expertise, and I'm just the crazy loud fan screaming when things happen. Right.
Yeah.
Switch over to watching one of our daughter's volleyball matches. And because I played and refereed as, a high school and club athlete, I know the game well enough and the hand signals I'm calling when our girls are out of rotation. I understand the background of the sport. And
what
my
do you
husband
mean out of rotation? What do you
and my husband is the one screaming because he doesn't actually know all the rules. So
Yeah.
we're here both with my, base knowledge of the sport of volleyball and the official rules, and my husband's growing knowledge of volleyball and its official rules to walk through some of the new rule changes coming up for 25-26. So just giving you that backdrop as we walk
Okay.
this conversation.
I'm glad that, Carlos, you're willing to learn and look at it from a different perspective. Because I'm like you, when I'm watching football, I see that all the time too. So,
Mark, I just like the idea that when the parents get together after the matches, whether we're on we're at a national qualifier or at some tournament, and they say, well, what exactly happened there? I love being the one who goes, well, let me tell you. And then getting a chance to explain, typically from something my wife said.
yeah. And I tell you, if parents would just know the hand signals, that would help them out tremendously.
I'm
Yeah.
always the one jumping up and down with my arm in a 90-degree angle going, the setter is back row. She is
Yeah.
back row. That's a back row attack. Sorry, trying not to scream here.
So to just go over some of the rule, I mean, there's 4 main rule changes this year for USA Volleyball, and a couple of them have gone to where other organizations have gone to. So I think this is some of the rule changes were to get in line with other organizations like NCAA or AAUs or high school or what have you. So, I mean, if you want, I can just go through each one of them and discuss them a little bit. And
Sure.
Yeah, I got them right here in front of me
Absolutely.
too. For one, we want to understand the rule change, of course, like what has actually changed, but also just the impetus for why the change was needed.
substitutions.
Okay, substitutions. Let's do substitutions.
So previously, you were allowed 12 substitutions. Now the rule change is you're allowed 15 team substitutions. So basically what they did there was college has 15. So I think it gives you more flexibility to get players in and out in a situation where if you go beyond the 25 points, you're at 28, 28. It kind of gives you more latitude you got 3 extra subs, so you can use that hopefully to your advantage. If your DS, your defensive specialist is in for the middle on a sub, so it kind of helps you get. And you don't want that DS to be on the front row if you've run out of subs, right? So I think it kind of helps plan a little bit and kind of helps strategize when the set goes more than the 25 points.
So in this case, as you're pointing out, the rules we've been playing with at our club ball season, we actually were shorter than what college has been dealing with. And so this gets us more in line with what we would probably see if our girls get a chance to ever move forward.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And then once they're in club at 15 subs, they go to college, they're used to it.
Let's talk about the one that I think is maybe the most surprising to me, the screening rule. I know that parents and teams have argued about this because it is a subjective call, but talk to me about the screening rule, how it's changed and why it was necessary.
So for screening, right now the rule is it prohibits players from raising their hands above their head during the service until the ball passes beyond the net. So if I got 3 players at the net and I got my hands raised and the ball goes over them at a kind of a fast pace, before we would call that. We would say, hey, that's screening. You are blocking the view from the opposing team to see the serve. Okay, so now they've dropped their hands, so they can't hold their hands up and they still got to be spread out a little bit, but a lot of it is to not to gain an advantage on your serve, serving over somebody with their hands in the air and blocking the view from the receiving team. So that's basically why that's there.
And Mark, I want to ask you that, and that's Mark Prater, and he is the indoor officials chair with SRVA and referees matches all over the country, not just at the club level, but obviously at the college level as well. Is that a rule change because the game has gotten so much faster that it's now turned into you got to give at least a fair shot, or if this is a possible way to create a little bit of an advantage, now at least it allows it to take it away from one of the teams that's doing so?
Yeah, I mean, because a lot of teams and players now, their serving ability, and even on the boys and men's side, some of these serves are coming at you pretty quick. So they kind of want to level that playing field a little bit.
Yeah, that's the one I can see needs to be coached into the girls ahead of the season, right? Because it just standard practice, I think, for a lot of these girls
Yep.
to just have their hands up high. Hands up, serves coming over. So I think that one, they'll definitely take some time out of practice to walk through that with the girls so they have a basic understanding of that rule.
Which other one do you want to talk about?
Yeah, so the multiple contacts on a team's second hit being legal if the ball is next contacted by a teammate. So we played with this rule a little bit at AAU Nationals where there was a rule change, but then USAV, we went to Nationals and it was back to the standard last year. Now it sounds like all governing bodies are following this rule the same. So give us a walkthrough of what that means.
Okay, this is actually, you can double contact it. And if your attacker touches it before it goes over, play on. That's kind of where that's at. It's to keep the play moving, and it also kind of takes the non-consistency of referees across the country, not calling a double. Some would call a double. Some would look at that and go, no, I'm not calling that. So it kind of takes away the inconsistency of the referees. For years, we've been trying to be consistent, and it's just hard to do. What one referee sees at a different angle than I might call it, they might not. So I think this, to me, one, keeps the play going, and two, it just aligns with everybody else. College has been doing it for, I think now it's 2-3 years now, and it's really, I think, enhanced the game to me. And people were talking about now setters can just do anything. Well, that's true, but if they make a bad set to one of their teammates, then it kind of hinders them if they make a bad set. So it kind of they're punishing themselves if they have a bad set. So I think that's kind of where it's at and why we got to this point in the allowing double contacts.
Yeah, I feel like I heard the most negative feedback even on this rule from setters parents who like, my kid has beautiful hands and it means nothing now.
but I don't think there's anything that makes parents go more crazy, because we've been our daughters are 14 and 11, and fortunately they've been able to get to nationals and have big matches and have a lot of success. I don't think we've ever been as frustrated as one match 2 years ago when clearly the other setter was doubling almost every time and basically throwing it at the hitters, and we were having to play the game straight to try to level that playing field. At least it allows us to say, well, if she's doing it, we're going to do it too.
And that's the inconsistency I was mentioning. So now you can go out there and it can be the ugliest set in the world, or it can be the prettiest set in the world. We just let it go now if you double it and it goes over, or if you double a third ball and it goes over, we're supposed to be calling those. If you double it and the blocker gets it first, we call that a double. So your player, the attacker, has to get it first for us to let play continue.
Yeah, on the flip side, there was a team last year. I watched this match where the poor sets look clean to me, and this guy just called everything a double, and it literally changed the game. It caused them to not be able to run their offense.
And different from one week to the next.
Correct.
Because of the back-to-back weekends last year of AAU and USAV. Let's go ahead and get into that last rule change with the Liberos, and how that's going to kind of change how, whether it's how your team is set up, how you construct it, and what it means moving forward for the game.
Well, previously you had to designate no Liberos, one Libero, or two Liberos before the match, and you were locked into that as a coach. So if you designated one libero in set one on your lineup, then you were locked into that number of liberos for the whole match. This year, you can designate no liberos, one libero, or two liberos per set. If I put one libero on my lineup in set one, I can have two liberos for set two. I think it gives the coaches, and AAU already has this, so I'm glad that they went to this because it gives more flexibility, I think, to coaches and how they can coach. If you got two liberos and one's a great server, but yet one plays defense, you can have two liberos. One libero can just go serve and the other libero can play defense. So I think it opens up what coaches can do and how they can, coach the game and structure their team and really give either more playing time or less playing. I mean, it just better enhances their team makeup of how many liberos they can have.
The growth of that position is just astounding to me also. You're only going to have so many 6'3" girls walk in the gym, but you've got so many athletic girls fighting for those positions that the more this rule plus the more substitutions, getting more DSs and more liberos on the court, I think is a great thing for the sport. And I love to see it.
Yep, I would agree. I think that the libero position is, I think in the last 5 years has been more of a focal for coaches and scholarships because they see the value of keeping a ball up and playable. There's liberos all over in major teams that I tell you they're just stunning to me. The defensive play is just absolutely astonishing to me. So yeah, I would agree.
Well, Mark, we can't thank you enough for joining Volleyball'd. It's insightful. We talked to the parents about getting to them some of this extra information. You've been a fountain of great information. And so on behalf of the Medinas, we thank you for taking the time out with us.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Hope y'all have a good season.
So there you go. Very nice man. Explain the rules very clearly. They've been instituted for the good of the game and for, as he put it, trying to make sure it's uniform throughout the entirety of the game, because I had actually forgotten about that. We had different setting rules last year for AAU versus USAV, and the whole idea of a double at AAU was completely out the window when we were there.
Yeah, it was such an adjustment the first time, and then to go back a week and a half later and have a different set of rules was definitely interesting to say the least. But I do feel bad for every time I've yelled in the general direction of a referee. I'm actually pretty calm usually because I'm watching the whole sport, the whole court at the same time.
You make faces like somebody kicked your dog.
Yeah. I'm more of an RBF than I am a yeller. I'm a stare down kind of mom.
You put your hands out and you look like somebody kicked your dog in the ribs. And then you'll do this. You'll go, what? Now me, I'm a little different. I just happen to step back from the court, maybe a step or two, and then I try and unleash the yell of like, what are you calling? That's normally mine. That's my MO.
Or the ball don't lie.
Yeah, I might have yelled ball don't lie a few times, but I've seen coaches do it. They've yelled at the chair and been like, hey, ball don't lie. Especially when you get a call on you that you know is not the right call. And then the very next play goes in your favor, and it was very clear that volleyball karma just got you because ball don't lie, right?
All right, this is your public safety warning to hug a referee and be nice to them because they're just doing their jobs. We will be nicer, I promise. Thank you, Mark, for changing us and our sultry ways.
I don't know if I can make that pledge. I don't know if I can really sign on to that in the way that you're planning on, but I will strive to be better this club season. I promise. All right, maybe.
Hug a referee. Be nice.
No, not no.
Today is gonna be the day that we run out of cash. Watching every serve and kill, it's a total smash. By now you should have somehow realized what we've lost. Our free time's gone, it's all for volleyball at any cost. I tend to believe that anybody feels the way we do. broke again. Entrance fees for tournaments our girls already in. I'm sure you've heard it all before, but we're at the bar, drinking through the overwhelm. No life beyond this far. Don't believe that anybody feels the way we do about the nets and all the chaos we're stuck into, and all the roads we drive, all the states we see. We've been volleyballed, oh, so desperately. I said maybe we're gonna be the ones that cheer them on. We're lost in this volleyball, and all the lights that lead us there are blinding. The hotel nights, the drinks, they keep us finding a way to cope with all this endless grind. Oh, we're trapped, no life outside. And all the roads we drive, all the states we see. We've been volleyballed, oh, so desperately. I said maybe we're gonna be the ones to cheer them on. We're lost in this volleyball. Today was gonna be the day, but we're still here. Volleyball, oh volleyball. I don't believe that anybody